Come on, let's be honest. Learning a foreign language when you're not in the country, when you're trying to learn English in China or Chinese in America, it's hard because without those daily chats and constant exposure to native speakers, picking up the language can feel like a slow grind. But don't worry, I've got some killer tips that I use myself and I would like to share with you guys today to help you level up your language game, even if you're thousands of miles away from where it's spoken. That said, for those of you who are living in the States and still struggling with English, it doesn't make any sense. You're wasting this golden opportunity to learn the language because you've got the language environment right at your doorstep, so use it. All right. Tip number 1. We spend so much time with our phones these days. So why don't you just set your phone to the language that you're trying to learn? I know, it sounds a bit scary at first. Like, what if I can't make my way back to the settings anymore? But trust me, it's a game changer. Because suddenly, all those everyday interactions, such as checking messages, navigating apps, even setting your alarm, it becomes a mini language lesson. You can even give Siri instructions in the language that you want to learn. Start by asking him, or maybe it's a her, I don't know in your case, but you can just ask them, how's the weather, you know? You can have this little chit chat with your Siri.
Hey Siri, find me directions back to the house.
Finding directions to Yoshi house.
Yoshi? It's Yusha, not Yoshi. Put some respect on my name. I ain't gonna tell you no more.
What the fuck is a Yusha anyway? You should ask your mom why she named you that bullshit. And who the fuck are you talking to? You fake-ass YouTube star. I see why your wife wants a divorce. Pay your back child support, then we can talk. Fuck out of here.
You know, this is like immersing yourself in the language without even leaving your couch. On top of that, you'll start picking up the most commonly used words and phrases just by using your phone. Go ahead and don't be scared and switch that language setting. Truc numéro 2. Tip number 2. Follow celebrities from the country where your target language is spoken. Whether it's actors, musicians, YouTubers, or athletes. These folks are putting out content in their native language all the time. So follow them on social media, watch their interviews, listen to their podcast. It is definitely an interesting way to get a feel for the natural flow of the language and pick up some slangs and see how your favorite stars actually speak in everyday situations. So find your favorite stars and start following them. You'll be surprised how much you'll learn. Tip number 3. Listen to music, podcasts, and radio in the language you're learning. You've got to get your ears used to the new sounds and rhythms. This is super important because before you can start speaking and imitating correctly, like the accents, you need to feel how the language sounds. Tune into some local radio stations, find podcasts that interest you, and add some music to your playlist. Whether it's pop, rock, or traditional, whatever, it all helps. It's like giving your ears a little workout every day, and you start picking up on pronunciation, intonation, and even some cultural nuances, perhaps. So plug in those headphones and soak yourself in the language. Tip number 4. Hire an online teacher. Seriously, at least 2-3 times a week. At the beginning, you're probably going to sound terrible in the new language. And that's totally normal, guys. You feel shy, embarrassed, and maybe even frustrated. All those negative feelings that will make you want to stay quiet. But here's the thing. You've got to push through that. And paying someone to listen to you stumble through sentences and correct your mistakes is invaluable because you're paying for it. So you don't have to feel bad about speaking nonsense. You've earned the right to make mistakes and let them correct for you. This is hands down the most efficient way to learn a new language. Hands down. It's like having a personal trainer for your speaking skills, helping you build confidence and fluency. So invest in yourself and get a teacher on board. The final tip. Read children's books. I know this sounds probably a little stupid, but trust me on this one. They're superb for beginners. The sentence structures are so simple and the vocabulary is more straightforward And they're usually packed with pictures that help you understand the story without needing a dictionary all the time. Plus, they cover everyday situations and common phrases, which are perfect for building a strong foundation. This way, you won't be overwhelmed by complex grammar and advanced vocabulary. So start reading. It's a fun and effective way to ease into the new language. So there you have it, 5 practical tips to help you learn a new language, even if you're not in a country where it's spoken. Remember, it's all about immersing yourself in the language as much as possible. The key is to stay consistent in having fun and not be afraid of making mistakes, because it's all part of the learning process. And that's it for today. I hope it helped you guys a little bit, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.